It's all about fan sewing in my Dr. Hoodie. Ha 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 ha. Hey guys, it's Elizabeth from ElizabethMadeThis.com. I'm here to bring you lots of sewing tips and inspirations and tutorials to help you sew quick, sew confidently, and sew creatively. If that is up your alley, go ahead and hit the subscribe so you don't miss anything. Today I am talking about this project that I am wearing, which is my Dr. Hoodie. Ha 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 ha. So, Viv of Stitches and Seams, I posted something on Instagram of this. It was this panel, and I showed that in my last video. So it is this panel with the TARDIS printed on it, and it's a pretty girly TARDIS. It's got all these flowers and stuff, and it's like, ooh, pretty nice and watercolory kind of stuff around it. And I thought, hey, I should totally pick one of those up because that would be super fun. I'm a Doctor Who fan. It's super fun. I enjoy the show, and then I was like, well, maybe I should just ask Viv if she would want to do like a little collaboration. So she said yes, and I think she is. I'm not sure if she has her video up at the moment. I need to check, but I know she made her project, and I am sharing my project today. So I started out with this super not very attractive sweatsuit, and I decided to make a hoodie out of it with my TARDIS panel. So I dyed the fabric. It originally started out as this true purple, and you can see the difference. It's a lot more blue. So I hit it with a sapphire blue, and since this is a poly cotton blend, I used Rit Dye More, which is a dye that's specifically meant for non-natural fibers. So like polyester, acrylic, anything that's got a synthetic fiber content in there does really great in this stuff. I've been experimenting with it for a little more than a year, and it's a great product. I've been really impressed with it. So I will show you how I went about dyeing the pieces for this, and I also want to get close up on this hoodie so I can show you all the details of this too, and how I made it. So I have this fabric, and it started out as this just straight purple sweatshirting fabric. You saw what it was before. It's nothing super interesting, just, you know, a standard basic sweatshirt. So I've taken it and I kind of scrunched it up, and I wanted it more closer to a blue of some sort. So I took some Rit Dye More in sapphire blue and a little bit of yellow, because I wanted it to be just a tiny bit warm. And you can see there's some places in here where it didn't take the yellow, so I thought that was pretty interesting. So to kind of emphasize that, I took all my pieces for my hoodie, and I scrunched them up, and I wrapped yarn all around them, and I am gonna dye this now, and hopefully I get some more places where I get some kind of this color variation, so it's not just a flat color, because I think that'll be interesting. I should say too that the reason why I went for a hoodie was because I steal my husband's hoodies like all the time in the winter. Just any day that it's really cold, that's the first thing I grab out of the closet to just put on. And I used to have my own hoodie, but I had worn it through like all of my pregnancies from you know, week 0 to week 40 and beyond. So it had been there and back again many times, and it was gross. It was white, and it had like stains on it. It was all stretched out. It was like coming apart at the seams. It was disgusting. Like, I had to get rid of it. So since I haven't had just a basic hoodie, I've been stealing my husband's, and I thought, you know what, this is a really great opportunity for me to use something that I have in my closet, and I can use it to, you know, make a hoodie that it's actually a garment that I need, not something that I would necessarily wear out of the house, although I have worn this one out of the house to like soccer games and stuff like that. I mean, hoodies are generally, I think, too casual for me, but there's a place for them. And, you know, in the morning when it's cold, that's a really great place for it. So anyway, I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna show you some up close details of how this came together. And yeah, enjoy it. Okay, so to start out, I used Ottobre 5 2017. Number 10 for my hoodie. So it's a basic hoodie, but it's got some different details. You can see it has these little curved. They're not really curved. They're kind of it's almost an angle, kind of a triangular side panel. And in that seam are the zippered pockets. So that's kind of a really cool effect. And they're actually extremely comfortable to wear. So they're not only like, I think it's a really pretty line, just kind of a variation on the princess seam, but the pockets are just really, really comfortable. So that is from this issue of Ottobre. And yeah, let's check it out. So you can see with my hoodie, it ended up this nice pretty purple color. And so it's not quite solid purple. It has patches of the purple, and that's because of how I scrunched up the fabric when I was dyeing it. And I think that actually coordinates really well with the TARDIS. It's not quite TARDIS blue, but it's kind of closer. So once I added that sapphire blue, I think it really enhanced the color of the original fabric. So now you can see where those zippered pockets kind of turned out, and there's some surprises in this jacket, which I'm pretty excited to show you. So there's my zipper, and who's inside the TARDIS? It's the Doctors. What? This is super fun. So there's a lining in there, but also when I open up my zipper, and this is a really nice zipper. This is a Riri zipper. I got this in LA at the FIDM scholarship store. It's just a beautiful zipper. I ended up dyeing it. It started out kind of a lighter purple, and I did dye it with the rest of my stuff, just so that it wouldn't detract from anything that was going on. Okay, so if I can actually open this up. Okay, so who's on the inside of the TARDIS? It's the Doctors! Ta-da! So I decided to line my jacket with this really fun cotton quilting print that I got at Joann's. It's got all the Doctors, like classic and current, all the way up through Peter Capaldi. So pretty fun. The thing is, because this is a knit and this is not, I cut the lining for this one size bigger, and that made it so that the fabrics wouldn't be fighting each other. Because if I hadn't done that, then they wouldn't have fit into each other. The cotton quilting fabric wouldn't have gone to the edge. It would have looked really horrible. And then when you try and move everything would just end up being too tight. So I cut it a size larger, just in the lining, and I just lined the front and the fronts and the back, and that was perfect. And so the lining on the sleeves, there's no lining on the sleeves. It's just the sweatshirt fabric in there, and that is just fine. But yeah, it's a really nice clean edge. And then the hood I lined with this pretty purple performance knit fabric. I think it was a good coordinating fabric, and it's nice and warm, and I think I have enough that I can make some really nice leggings out of it. So that will be good. That will be good. Okay, but let's talk about like sewing the actual TARDIS. So the panel from Aurora Fabric Designs came on this white. It's printed because Aurora Fabric Designs is a custom printing place, kind of like Spoonflower, kind of like Raspberry Creek Fabrics, if you're familiar with either of those. It was really reasonable. I think it was only $8 for the whole panel, which I thought was really great because it's a nice, I mean, this is a good size applique. Or if you want to use it as a, you know, like the middle of a center of a t-shirt or something like that, that would be great. I decided to use mine as an applique. So what I did is I just kind of rough cut around it. You can see this was out of this, and as I said, it's a double brushed poly. So I rough cut around it, just kind of in a square, and then I cut straight down the middle of the TARDIS. So I used a rotary cutter so I'd get a nice clean edge. And I was really careful, and I used a ruler so it would be nice and even across there. The nice thing about doing this is that I didn't have to worry about matching it across the zipper. I had already installed the zipper before I even started doing all of this. So I didn't have to worry about matching the seam or matching the pattern. I could do this after the fact and make sure everything was just perfect. So in order to do that, I took everything and I used a glue stick and just tacked it down really lightly so it was right up against the edge of the zipper, and then I stitched largely with matching thread just around the various areas of the TARDIS. So there's stitching here and all around the windows and all around these splotchy watercolory sections and around the flowers. I sewed the applique down before I actually lined the fronts. So I had sewn in the zipper, but I hadn't sewn in the lining yet. So the stitching is not visible on the lining, so that was just a nice, and it's nice and clean on the inside, so I really liked that, and I would definitely do that again. And after that was all done, I took my scissors and I just cut around everything. So it's a simple kind of thing to do, and I think it's really effective. And I love the look of this against the purple of the sweatshirting fabric, and I think it turned out really nice. I think if I had left it on the white and just like done a straight thing, I don't know that it would stand out as much. I think the contrast is really nice, and I think the purple I think it works really well in the Doctor Who world. And I should say too about my ties. So I couldn't find my eyelets for my hood. So instead I just did simple little buttonholes there for the openings on my drawstrings for my hood. And then the hood, the drawstrings themselves are just it's a 1-inch wide strip of knit fabric, and this is left over. This is actually a TARDIS print left over from the inside of my Rose Tyler jacket. And it's maybe not the best match for this particular thing, but I didn't have any kind of purple twill tape or anything for that to work. So I might replace this at some point, but I kind of like it too, and definitely this kind of strip that I love this for drawstrings. I just fold it over so the raw edges are facing the center, kind of like a belt loop when you make jeans, and I just run it through my cover stitch, and it makes such a nice drawstring. It's so comfortable on pants, and it's been really comfortable on this hoodie too. And then the only other thing that I added to this was a little hanging loop, so I can just hang this up really well. But that's my TARDIS hoodie. So yeah, that's that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. Happy sewing. Ha 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 ha. And today, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends.